Windows on Nature, the first book on the American Museum of Natural History's world-renowned habitat dioramas. Author Christopher Quinn guides readers through the museum for a dazzling look at nature, science, and art. What role did dioramas play in the early conservation movement?
The early dioramas predate modern wildlife photography, film, and certainly predate computer technologies. So you might think of them as a very early form of virtual reality. The curators who were concerned about vanishing wilderness and wildlife were looking for a medium to nurture environmental awareness and raise concerns about vanishing wildlife species. The intent was to recreate nature within the artifice of the museum, to recreate that close encounter with wildlife that would move a person to care.
What information in the book do you give us about the dioramas?
We trace the history of dioramas and their appearance in natural history museums, their use as environmental tools and science education. Then the center part of the book is a tour of the museum's best. The last portion of the book is the tricks of the trade. It's called The Anatomy of the Diorama, and it reveals all of the secret methods and techniques that have been developed over the years by the artists in the exhibits department.
Can you tell us about some of the key figures in diorama construction?
The most influential figure is Frank Chapman, and he was hired in 1888 as the museum's first curator of ornithology. And Chapman saw the potential of these exhibits to raise awareness and protection for birds. His dioramas would feature landscapes, habitats, and birds that were under threat. And specifically, for example, he used Pelican Island, which was an island off southern Florida, where wading birds like herons and egrets nested, where they were being slaughtered. He used that exhibit to appeal directly to President Roosevelt at that time in 1902. Roosevelt responded in 1903 by designating that area as the very first federal bird preserve.
Do you feel that there's still a place for dioramas in modern museum exhibitions?
The American Museum and its dioramas provide portals to look out on that natural world, to reconnect and remind us that we're still part of this bigger family of life, and we have responsibilities to and for it. So I think now more than ever we need to hear the diorama's message, and it remains to be seen as to whether they will be a record of a world before we despoiled it, or if we'll treasure the beauty and splendor of nature that they so well portray.
Windows on Nature by Christopher Quinn features vibrantly detailed photographs, rare and never-before-seen historical images, and informative, entertaining descriptions of each diorama and its creation that will inspire readers young and old alike.
The diorama is unique in an exhibit medium in that it replicates a real place and real scale in real time.